quick moment to share some stuff, hopefully to make somebody feel good, like I feel right now. I just got through. First of all, if you don't know me, Florida's own Barry S. McLeod. Okay, I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I'm just in a elated moment right now because I just got done watching this seminar, right? And let's see, it's my volume up here. I just got done watching this seminar, and it was from this guy who, well, it's from some people out in Hollywood. I've completed the movie SheDaPlaya. It's time to go into this marketing phase of the movie, and such a it's a lot of work. It's a whole new ball game, and I'm watching seminars from people out in L.A. and New York, and trying to learn as much as I can. And so I was just watched this seminar with this guy. His last name is Bonazio, so I'm thinking that's Italian, maybe. Anyway, he has a documentary out, and he was the feature for the documentary. He was talking about um, different things about the marketing and the promotion of his documentary, and he shared some really really good nuggets with the audience, which was on this particular seminar group, for lack of the appropriate word to say. Um, there's like a lot of people. There's so many. What was so interesting is that there's so many other talented people out there like myself. Uh, doing exactly what I'm doing: writing, directing, producing, um, making the film behind the camera, in front of the camera. You know, and that I know that, have known that for years. But when you are on a webinar like this, and to see all of these people who are hungry and interested just like me to try to learn as much as you can possibly learn, because we have moved, some people have films that they've completed, some people are just inspired to do it and whatever, but we all got to travel down a very similar path to accomplish our goals. And I'm listening to this man who's from a totally another geological location on this planet Earth. And I'm watching all of these. If you have ever sat in on a Zoom meeting, you can see many of the participants, those who will who will not turn their video off, and I'm looking at the faces of these people, and I'm looking at the reactions of these people as the man is doing this presentation. And I'm looking at how hungry we all are, and how serious we all are. And being that I've been participating in these webinars lately, I can remember some of the same faces like myself who are always there, who are always trying to learn and get better at what it is that we do. And I'm just intrigued by so many different things. And like I say, this guy who he may be, I think he's in New York now, but I think he originated from Italy. But one of the things that just struck me is that how so many people, we think that so much is just within our community, our race of people. But there's so many things that everybody's going through that is so universal. And that's one of the things that I picked up so much from this webinar. People are asking me, Barry, why did you choose comedy? I chose to do SheDaPlaya as a comedy movie for a variety of reasons. And I hope that I was being wise in my attempt to be strategic in selecting comedy at this particular time, because there are other genres that I have done and still will do. But one of the underlying reasons why I wanted to do comedy this time, because I'm looking at how crazy this world is growing more and more. And I just think that people need to have more laughter. They need to have more opportunity and more reason to just laugh and release some of the energy and pressure that's inside of us, in our day-to-day lives. But listening to this guy today, and he was saying how messed up and dark the world is, and at one point he said the world is really getting fucked up, and um, and I'm thinking to myself, man, it just amazes me how many people actually see this same picture on this planet Earth, and how many people feel the same way about this very same picture that's right here on this planet Earth. I mean, it's serious. It's serious. We all know it, but too many of us are uh, adjusting to it in such a way that we're not really, we're trying so hard to not be impacted by it. I guess there's a lot of darkness, that is just trying to take over the whole world, from the government all the way into individual communities, from one country to another country, and it's crazy and it's dark. And to hear other people talking about it, saying the very same things that I say with the people that I talk to, people who are just completely different from me, and totally different locations, to hear them saying the very, very same things. And part of his reason for making his documentary was because he wants to try to inspire more positive into this growing dark world that we all live in. And so we have all of these different reasons for making the movies, that we make. And I was just processing that, because I really want as many people to see my movie SheDaPlaya as possible, because I want you to laugh. I really want people to laugh. It's not going to make our darkness go away. It's not going to make our problems go away. But why not have some laughter in the midst of all of this stuff that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis that frustrates us and depresses us and makes us sad? In my community, in the last week, 3 local icons have passed away. One was a husband and wife who passed away on the same day, and they are very prominent people. And then one of their colleagues, has done a tremendous amount of things in this community, positive stuff for the community, for the city. And you can't put color on all of this, and just lost him. Really, really cool guy. And I can only imagine what their families are going through right now, and maybe this is not a good time for some, people like that to be laughing because they're hurting. But at some point in time, hopefully something will make them laugh and help them to just release and, some of that pain and suffering that they're going through right now, And so that's all a part of why I wanted to make a movie for people to just laugh. I was also listening to the same man. They asked him a question, how did you get your team together? And what does your team consist of? He said, well, we have a graphic designer. We have a person that handles our Facebook and website setup, our social media and website setup. We have a person that does the marketing. We have a person that does the logistics when we go out and we do events to promote the movie. We have to have somebody that can script it all. And I'm like, oh man. I do all of these things one person. And I'm not saying this to try to brag, because Superman is fiction. I tell people that all the time. But I'm looking at people who have a team. And that's one of the things that I hope that the good Lord has in store for me around the corner, that I will have from an office uh, uh, standpoint. I will have a team of people, because right now I'm wearing like literally all the hats. I've got, some terrific actors, and I have a few people that will help me with things here and there, and uh, some good friends who will help me share stuff on social media and stuff like that, and tell people about it, and help me get some subscribers to Be Binging. But this guy was saying that how they've had like uh, 30 some million people to watch his movie, you know, and he's not a household name. And and it's because of having a team of people that doing all of this stuff. And I'm just like, I just really getting so much out of this webinar today, you know, and for me to hear like, because see, I have some of my actors and stuff all the time and say, Barry, why don't you put your stuff on Tubi? Why don't you try to get your stuff on Netflix? Why don't you on these different streaming platforms? And what I tell them, some of them look at me like, like I just don't have my stuff together. But I'm listening to these people who really are far ahead in this journey of filmmaking and getting it out there. They're far ahead of me, and they have affiliates, and they have money. You know, uh, this guy, he said something along the lines of $500,000 to make his documentary. I didn't have $10,000 to make SheDaPlaya, you know? And so I knew that I just had to produce quality work if I was going to have a film that could be competitive in the independent market and had potential to make noise. So we did that with all the talent that we have. But some of the actors, Barry, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you put it here, put it there? And I'm listening to this guy today. He's saying, look, let me tell you something. He said, you put your stuff on Netflix, they're just putting it on the wall, people have to sift through a big pile to maybe find your stuff. And then they want to keep the majority of the money that come from it. And you lucky if you get 20%. He said, what we do, we just put the grind in ourselves, and we might make the same 20%, but at least, we're not giving away 80% of our money to some people who, they don't deserve it, because they put no real work into it. They already have this platform, and they're not going to get behind your film unless you're a big, come with a big company with all of those established relationships, and you have a A-rated celebrity, that kind of thing. So I was right. Hearing these people break it down like they did today lets me know that I've been right in what I've been thinking, because it makes sense. I've done the math on it, and it makes sense. And even the one or two or three people that I know that they boast that they got something on Tubi, I say to them, I say, man, I don't want to know how much money you make, but is it worth it? And I can just see in their body language, like, they probably ain't getting much or nothing. But they have the bragging rights to say, well, my stuff is on there. And I just feel very different. I feel like it's not a big deal for me to say that my work is on one of these known streaming platforms if there's people are not watching it and I'm not making any money. So that's why I'm putting forth the best effort I can to get people to go to Be Binging and watch the work that we're doing. Yeah, it's a slower route. It's a lot of work to build it. But since I released SheDaPlaya, I've had it's still small numbers, but man, it feels good to see people subscribing to watch the movie. So it's going to be a lot more grind I got to do. I've got to raise some more money to afford the marketing and promotions, because I really got to find the right companies for what this film needs at this particular time. But I'm looking at it this way, and I'm getting other information that is valid from other people that are in the industry who are farther ahead than I am, and I'm learning from these people. I'm learning. It ain't no joke what they're saying. It makes sense. It adds up when you sit down and do the math. So the ego thing is not in there for me. People are, I want people to watch the movie and like the movie and laugh and recommend the movie to somebody, and keep that trend going. That's basically what I want. And no, I mean, I watched the documentary with Robert Townsend, when he talked about his movie, The Five Heartbeats, which is one of my favorites, and probably the average person watching me right now, The Five Heartbeats is going to be one of your favorites. And to hear Robert Townsend talk about how he really didn't make any money off of that movie, and we scratched our heads and said, "But everybody watched this movie. Everybody loved this movie, The Five Heartbeats. What? Eddie Kane? What you talking about?" And he's like, man, he broke it down, and I can't explain it how he did, but it's not always how we think it is, and it's not always about money. But here we are, we talking about the movie, we're talking about how much we love it and all the different scenes and stuff in it. So if I can accomplish close to that with SheDaPlaya, me and the cast, we've won. And the cast have gotten exposure, and some of them hopefully will have other reputable producers and directors reaching out to them to be a part of their projects. And in this way, I win. But if we catch a major break, if the good Lord sees fit that it happens, then and more money comes in, then great. But if not, we're going to keep trying to do the smartest thing and keep trying to look at people and not look at ourselves so much. Because like I told everybody from the beginning, I said, look, y'all, we're not doing this for us. We're doing it for the people who are going to watch it. Because if they don't care about it, if they don't like it, then, that's what matters at the end of the day. Do the people like the movie? I'm real proud right now to be able to say that the people that have watched the movie, the feedback that I have gotten has really been encouraging. People, they like the movie. And I love it. I love it when people say things to me that lets me know that they paid attention to the story and different details of the story and the movie itself. People say, Barry, the quality, the video quality of your movie was really good. And I'm gonna tell you, I struggle. I edited this movie myself. I struggle sometimes with certain scenes. I literally struggle trying to get that audio right, because we had some circumstances with some of the filming where we were outside. We were in a salon where the barbers was cutting hair, and the sound of the clippers and the sound. We were in the mall, and the sound of people walking by in the mall. If you've ever been in the mall, you know what that sounds like. And to try to minimize that and give quality to the audio, to the dialogue, that was a challenge. And I'm not an expert in every area, but we didn't have the funds to go out and hire professionals to do it. So I just jumped in as deep as I could jump, and I did the best that I could. And so when I hear people say, oh, the clarity was good, boy, that made me feel good. And when people say the video quality was good, well, I ended up videoing 85, 90% of the movie myself with these eyes here, And so when people say that the video quality was really good, I really do appreciate hearing that. When people say, I laughed at this scene right here and I laughed at that scene. The lady said yesterday, she said, Barry, I'm a stickler for how the movie ends. And the way your movie ends, it really caught me off guard. I did not see that coming. I just really appreciate those kinds of compliments, to know that people are smart and they watch the movie and they watch the details of it. And they know how to express that. I tried to keep the movie as clean as possible. We do have some mild profanity in it, but it's the kind of stuff that most of us say every day, whether you're in the church or not. You know, somebody piss you off, you might say S-H-I-T. You know, you might say ass or something like that. We kept it mild because the movie was not made for only church folk. It was not made for only this group or only that group. It was made for a universal, broad, global appeal. And so we kept it real with real people. And so there's no sexual content in it. Somebody said, well, I saw the trailer, and this woman, what, she gonna prostitute herself for these men? You watch the movie. Watch the movie. You know, to be trying to judge something you ain't even watched it. Watch the movie and see. You know, and but it's just a very, very clean, family friendly movie. And the majority of your children, they talk like some of the stuff we say in the movie, they talk like that anyway. So but it's not any hardcore disrespectful kind of profanity and that type of thing. So we did a pretty clean across the board, accommodating, family friendly kind of a film that I'm not ashamed for anybody to watch. And I'm continuing to watch these webinars because I'm trying to pick up all the nuggets that I can to learn how to go forward with the marketing and promotions of the movie. And if you are within the sound of my voice right now, and you can, you know, appreciate anything that I'm saying, look, go to bbinging.com and watch SheDaPlaya, okay? bbingn.com. You can watch just the movie for 7 days if you want to, or you can subscribe for 30 days. It's your call. But watch the movie. Those $7 and those $3, they add up. Of course, it's going to take a lot of people for it to add up to some big numbers, but that's okay. You got to start somewhere with everything. But we have been able to raise enough money with those little subscriptions. I raised, I don't remember when I started Be Binging, but whenever I started, which has been several months ago, we have raised, I think it was like, to date now, it's been probably close to $1,100. But guess what? That's $1,100 that I didn't have to scrape up out of my own pocket and take away from my dinner table, you know. So it's you know, we appreciate it so much. All the people that donated to our GoFundMe, you know, man, that helped pay for this movie. But I'm going to be forever proud that what we did with less than $10,000, we got a movie that the average independent producer, unless they did the quality work that we did, they would have paid at least $30,000 to $50,000 to produce this movie and get the quality that we got. And we got it for less than 10 grand. I'm proud of that. And so, you know, and all of our actors are good. All of them. Our extras were exceptional, you know. And so we did a marvelous job. So as we go forward, you know, I'm still doing my homework. I'm still jumping on these webinars. I've participated in several of them now. I'm learning as much as I can, and I'm trying to go forward in the marketing and promotions. If you would like to help us out, we still have our GoFundMe. You can donate in any amount. All you got to do is go to GoFundMe.com, put in SheDaPlaya in the search box, or either put my name in it, and you'll see our GoFundMe page, and you can donate in any amount. And or you can just go to bbinging.com and subscribe. But I really would appreciate it if you take this post and you share it with 5 to 10 people. Tag them, you know, tag them. Text the link to 5 to 10 people. Help us out. See, when you're looking at me right now, I am the writer, director, producer, but I am representing everybody who is a part of this movie who you don't see right now. So it is not just about me. And I'm grateful and we're grateful. But I was just so elated. And the biggest point that I wanted to make about uh, this post right now that pertains to the webinar that I saw is, oh, let me tell you something. Black, white, green, purple, as they say. Let me tell you something. People all over the world, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, when it comes down to what's going on in this world, we all are looking at the same thing. And we have to be encouraged every day. We got to be encouraged all the time, because the main media is making so much money off of negativity, off of things that have to do with fear, that we're probably never, ever again going to get 30% positive stories. Because trust me, there's far more positive things happening in the world right now than there are negative things. But the average mainstream media that you watch, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, Fox, any of them, you might get one happy story. You might get one happy story, but the rest of it is going to be conflict, negativity, and one way or another. People, and this stuff is teaching people how to hate. It's teaching people how to be divided. It's teaching people to not look at caring about the wonderful things that's going on, but it is feeding and teaching people how to focus on negative stuff. That's how people change. That's how all of this negative stuff becomes the new norm. And that's why we need more comedy. That's why we need more people laughing. That's one of the reasons anyway. So keep that in mind. Florida's own Barris McLeod. Truly the right kind of different. Y'all stay blessed.